Byron Mann, thank you for taking the time to swim in the bowl with me in the Fish Bowl.
Great. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. I hope the temperature is just right.
It should be fine.
I just want to start off by saying that I'm a huge fan of your work. I've actually been following your career since I was 6 years old, and it started with Street Fighter. I've just been a huge fan of everything you've done since this. Actually, yesterday here in Pittsburgh, we had our little Comic-Con, and Tommy Flanagan was there, and he told me to tell you to say hi from him, and that he wishes you all the best. And he was talking about Wu Assassins, and I told him that I was actually going to be interviewing you, tonight. He said to just say hi and to wish you all the best.
Okay. Well, I just saw him a couple of days ago at a special Wu Assassins reunion party. He's fantastic. So you organize like a Comic-Con or something?
No. I was just attending and trying to get people on the show, and I'm a huge fan of Tommy's as well. He was definitely interested in doing it after I mentioned your name. So
gotcha. Fantastic.
Yeah. My first question that I wanted to ask you is, what got you interested in film?
Okay, so I kind of backed into it. I was actually studying to do something else. I was studying to be a lawyer, and then I realized, I'm condensing it for you, but I realized that what lawyers do was pretty boring. So I had to think of something to do, right? Because I was already in law school, and I was going to graduate in 2 years. And then I was working for a legal, like a law partner in a law firm, and for a summer job. And he said, why don't you just explore acting since you enjoy doing it in high school? So I did acting in high school and for fun. And I never thought about that as a career move. And I was in Los Angeles going to school, and so I just tried it, and it worked. And I really enjoyed it. I still enjoy it today. So that's kind of how I got into it. I was in the right place. If I went to school in Pittsburgh, I don't think I'd be doing this.
I can definitely agree with that. I mean, most of the talent from Pittsburgh ends up leaving Pittsburgh. I went to school for screenwriting here in Pittsburgh, and I'm planning to make the move as well.
Yeah, it's all in Los Angeles, right? That's the capital of filmmaking. So.
Right. I mean, I was able to take a trip out there last October. I was there for Shriek Fest Film Festival. One of my screenplays made as a finalist in there. Didn't win, but it was definitely it basically told me that that's where everything is, and that's the hub of it, and that's where, if you want to have a chance, that's definitely where you got to go. I wanted to talk about Street Fighter and your experience on that film and working with the cast and director, Stephen E. D'Souza.
Well, it was one of my first films. Everything was new to me, and it was a very tumultuous shoot. We shot in Thailand, Australia, and then Vancouver. It's actually, I've been interviewed many times, so you can actually see all the stories, but basically we wrapped filming without finishing the film, and we ended up filming the last quarter of it in Vancouver. There's a lot of things happened on that shoot. Our line producer had a heart attack in the midway through the shoot and never came back. One of our executives got into a near fatal car accident in Australia and never came back. It was also Raul Julia's one of his last films, or second to the last film. I think he knew he was not doing well, and but we were trucking along. It's really a chance of a lifetime to be part of that. It was incredible. It's very memorable.
That's fantastic. I grew up kind of like playing the video games, and there were just like several video game movies that were just very memorable for me growing up, in the 90s. And Street Fighter was, I would say Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat 1 and 2 were like at the top of my list of as far as like video game movie adaptations of the time. And I still kind of think they hold up in certain ways, because a lot of the video game movies that are like made today, they aren't done the same way. I kind of view that they're kind of like done more like video games instead of being adapted for like a feature film version. And I think the reason Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat work so well and hold up to this day is because they kind of left it up to the writer to kind of imagine world kind of based around the source material of the games and create something that, was, timeless in my opinion.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely. The next film that I wanted to talk to you about, because I'll actually be interviewing this person next month for my show, Paul Ben Victor, who was on The Corruptor with you. I want to talk a little bit about that film.
The Corruptor was one of the highlights of my career. I didn't know it at that time until I was finished filming with it. First of all, I worked with Jamie Foley. James Foley was a fantastic, very dark, very deep director. I'll never forget working with him. He really allowed, you to come up with ideas. He's just a really great dramatic director. He's worked with the best, right? And it was working with my hometown hero, Chow Yun-fat. It was the second movie in Hollywood. So that was an incredible treat. We were filming in Toronto and then New York City. We were gone for like 5 months, and it was so nice being in Toronto and Vancouver. Toronto and New York City, and it was just really, and that character that I played was, it's a role that I almost turned down actually, because I didn't kind of want to play that kind of stereotype role, but then I think I wanted to be a part of this movie, and they offered me this role, and I just, I did some research and try to make it real. I think the effect, people even to this day call me by that character's name, Bobby Boo. And I just never, in my wildest imagination, think that would ever occur. But there were like no boundaries to this character, right? So, and Jamie Foley just allowed me to do kind of whatever I wanted. And it was just a wild ride. So playing that character was a lot of fun. And I think the main thing that I took away from that movie was how people responded, especially the people in the Asian communities responded to that movie. At first, you think that they'd be repulsed by the violence and the depiction of, gangs and stuff in New York. But a lot of, especially men, really appreciate the movie because it's real. They tell me it's real. It's a real depiction of these people, and they appreciate that. They just don't want to be dumbed down. The audience don't want to be dumbed down. The audience want the truth. Whether it's good, bad, or ugly, they don't mind. They just want the truth.
I definitely agree, and I just have to say that movie is like my favorite film with you in it. They've just started playing it again on one of the movie channels. I've been watching it every single time it comes on. I love like the cop movie genre and like undercover stuff, and I just think it's definitely like a really great film.
I wish they made more movies like that. Maybe there will be a revival. They haven't for a while. Movies like this, it's like The French Connection, Serpico, Dog Day Afternoon. These movies are the movies that inspired me to be an actor myself. And I'm sure they're an inspiration to a lot of other people too. So, yep, it's up there. It's definitely up there in my list of favorite movies.
Awesome. The next film I wanted to talk about was Invincible.
Oh, okay.
I'm also a huge fan of Billy Zane, and I had the chance to meet him actually at one of Pittsburgh's Comic-Cons. Really cool guy. I just wanted to hear what was your experience working on that film and with the cast.
Again, it was a highlight because we were filming in Sydney, Australia, and that place is one of my favorite places. It's funny because a lot of times you interview actors, you have no idea what their experience is, and it's often unrelated to what you see on screen. A lot of it is just, it's related to their experience, right? Billy is a genius. Billy is a really fantastic actor, very smart, very fun guy to be around. We had a blast. That was also, if you remember, that was also a film with Dominic Purcell. You remember him?
Right.
Yeah, Dominic, that was one of his earlier films. That was before he moved to Los Angeles. So that was a great fun film. I don't think the end product was super good, but we were filming with a Hong Kong action director. His name is Tony Ching. It was funny because he actually led the action units, the second units, and then there was another director who directed the dramatic part, which is the main unit. But it turned out there was so much fun and action going on with the second unit that, the second unit became the main unit. That was where people like to hang out. So we had a lot of fun. A lot of good memories on that shoot. But it was fast. I mean, the Hong Kong director, Tony Chang, whom I later on did another film with, Belly of the Beast. He shot a lot of takes. I mean, he did a lot of setups. I remember on our last day, he did 82 setups in one day. So that's a lot.
Wow, that's awesome. I wanted to talk about the films you've actually done with Steven Seagal. I think that's like a
Sure.
That's like a perfect segue. You've done several films with Seagal, and I was wondering what's your overall experience working with him each time.
Steven I mean, in the 90s, he was the number one action actor in the world, right? He's kind of like the guy from the 90s, right? He's very, he moves with an entourage, he flies around with an entourage. So he's a guy, from that era. It's all about loyalty to him. He's very loyal to his good friends. So filming with Steven is like nothing else. I mean, when I filmed The Belly of the Beast with him, the movie in Thailand, he moved around, with like 15 people from the trailer to the set. There'll be Thai police, there'll be 3 or 4 secretaries, there'll be 3 or 4 monks from Tibet. I'm not sure why they're there, but they're there. And they're all on the film set, just walking wherever he is. He goes, where else in the world can you see something like that, right? It's pretty remarkable. Those are the memories, yeah.
Awesome. Very interesting. I mean, like, I again, like, am an 80s kid that grew up in the 90s, and hearing the stories about like the people I essentially like, grew up watching is always like very interesting to me. So that's why it's like definitely I'm having a pleasure talking with you. The next film I wanted to talk about is also up there probably with one of my favorites with you in it, and that's The Man with the Iron Fist.
Oh, okay. So that one was, again, a hoot because of RZA, RZA. RZA is a rapper, right? So, and he's an artist. He has a deep respect for actors and everything. So it was just fun. I remember, there was Russell Crowe there, Lucy Liu, Johnny Wu, David Bautista. David was just starting, we were all in Shanghai, outside of Shanghai filming. So it was most people had never been out to China, or mainland China. So, and, it wasn't the most comfortable place to film, but it was exotic. My biggest memory was every Friday night we would wrap early because RZA wanted to party. So we would all get in the van and head to Shanghai City and party until like literally to 7, 8 in the morning. So there was like a ritual, It needed to happen every Friday night. We would party. It was a fun film. It was a really fun character for me to play because, again, I had a lot of, I think maybe I'm a kind of deep down, I'm a really kind of a dark dude. So every time I work with really dark directors, good stuff happens. So RZA is kind of dark, and he always would lean toward the dark side. He loved what I was doing. I presented some crazy Mick Jagger-like character to him, and he just loved it, and he just like, keep going with it. And that's what I did. What was interesting was that on that film, I had lived a lot because I was shooting with, again, another Hong Kong action director, Corey Yuen, who did the action units. And sometimes, because RZA was going back and forth between the main unit and second unit, sometimes there was no director. It was just had to be Corey. So Corey's pretty easy going. So I just made up lines, man, all the time. And I was shocked at the premiere to see that like most of the lines that I ad-libbed ended up in the movie. That was kind of shocking to me. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had terrific memories of that film.
That's awesome. Again, like it's up there and like one of my favorite current films to have come out, I guess, in like the 2000s, 2000 like 10-esque era. And again, like growing up in the 90s, I'm a huge fan of rap music, and the Wu-Tang Clan is actually like my favorite rap group from that era. So the moment I heard RZA was going to be doing a movie, and then like let alone like what it was about, and then I saw you were in it, and Russell Crowe and Lucy Liu and just Batista, and then just the rest of the cast. It was a really really fun movie, and I really get a kick out of watching it each time it's on, and I'm proud to say that I own that one on Blu-ray.
You do. God bless you, man. I mean, there's something about owning a movie in a DVD, right? Like today, digital is like you own nothing.
Right. I mean, me personally, like I love to physically own a movie. I really get value out of like, owning a physical copy, and I even go as far as when I hear that there's going to be like a special edition Blu-ray release of some movie from like the 80s or 90s or something, I'm like first to pre-order it on Amazon and add it to the collection.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah, I had like DVDs, even Laserdisc. Do you remember Laserdisc?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I totally know what you mean. Like today, you kind of don't own anything. Yeah, it's all digital.
It's kind of a shame that it's going that route, but I also understand like the practicalities of it as well. But again, like the moment I see something that like is from my childhood or something, cool, that I'm like, I saw that movie and that is worth owning, I will purchase it. It's like my guilty pleasure. I get away with my paycheck.
I totally understand. Yeah.
Awesome. The next film I wanted to talk about was Skyscraper.
Okay.
And what was it like working with the cast of that film?
That was a very big film. It was a very big cast. And so we, again, shot in Vancouver. I actually, with Dwayne Johnson, I actually got to know him when I was promoting the film, because during the filming, most of my stuff wasn't with him. But we were promoting the movie all over in LA, New York, China, Hong Kong. So that was when I really got to know him better. So that was interesting. For me, it was kind of a coming home. I'm from Hong Kong, and to portray a Hong Kong police character and to do it right was very important to me. And I was able to, get a friend who's a former Hong Kong police detective to help translate the dialogue and to also be a consultant on the film in terms of all things Hong Kong police. That made a huge difference in the film in terms of its authenticity. And what happened was that there was a big reception to the authenticity of the film in mainland China. So the China box office was almost $150 million, and it really helped boost up the film. So that was the one big thing from that film that I got from it. Yeah.
Awesome. Would you like to do a film in the future working with The Rock?
Oh, yeah, sure, of course. Who wouldn't? I'd like to work out with him.
Awesome. Out of all the people you've had a chance to work with, yep, who would you say has been one, your favorite, and two, the biggest opportunity?
Whew. I mean, all the big ones, man. Russell Crowe, Richard Gere, Mark Wahlberg, Dwayne Johnson, Chuggin Fat, all of them. They've all taught me stuff, and I've always, I've learned from all of them as well too. So, I mean, the list goes on, but what comes to my mind are some of these people.
Awesome. I wanted to talk about Wu Assassins. That's your new show that's available on Netflix. I was wondering if you could tell my listeners a little bit about the show and who your character is and what we can expect from the season.
Okay, Wu Assassins is kind of like a modern day tale of a streaming series about contemporary life among an Asian American community in which there is deep-seated secrets and rivalry, supernatural elements, and of course, heavy martial arts action. So in the world that the Wu Assassins presents, There are 5 elements, water, fire, metal, earth, wood. And these 5 elements are in the hands of 5 individuals in this world. So Iko Uwais, who plays Kai Jin, he's been chosen as the Wu assassin. And what he needs to do is to kill these 5 people and regain the elements and present all 5 elements to the heavens in order to balance the world. Okay, and unbeknownst to him, however, one of the elements of fire belongs to me, and my character is Uncle Six. I am the godfather of Chinatown. I'm also Kai Jin's adopted father, okay? And I have, unbeknownst to him, and to everyone else, I have the element of fire. And so in other words, he has to kill me in order to get back the fire elements. So that's where the story begins. It's a huge conflict for both him and me, myself. And there's a showdown in the series, between us. And so that's it. That's Wu Assassins.
Awesome. I am so psyched to check the show out. I've seen the trailer, and it has so many awesome people that I'm a fan of in it with you. I have no doubt that it's going to be an awesome and well-received series. Is there any word of a season 2 yet?
They probably won't know until a month or 2 later.
Okay. Well, I definitely wish you the best of luck with that. The trailer looks awesome, and
thank you.
I cannot wait to check it out. I have 2 closer questions for you here. First one is, what are some of your favorite films? And the second is, if you have any other upcoming projects to promote.
Okay, so I am in this film called Don't Let Go with David Oyelowo. It's actually coming out August 30th, and it's a Blumhouse film, and it's a psychological thriller. So that's coming out. I am about to do another project, but it's not been announced yet, so I probably should wait on that. So that's in terms of upcoming projects. In terms of my favorite films, there are mostly films from the 80s and 90s. When Harry Met Sally, 4 Weddings and a Funeral, The Mission, The Last Emperor, Year of the Dragon. Those are some of the films that really they inspired me to be an actor.
Awesome. Well, Byron, it has been a pleasure talking with you. I would love to have you on the show again anytime. I really wish you the best of luck with Wu Assassins. Cannot wait to check it out.
Thank you very much. All right. Best of luck. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.